And today we are talking to dun, 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 Danielle Butler, the owner, proprietor, and head author of Evie Danny Books, which is the home of The Adventures of Zoe and Zachary. This is February, Black History Month, and this week we're talking about children's book illustrators and children's books because it is also Children's Authors and Illustrators Week. Don't you just love social media calendars? They make life so much easier to have something to talk about. So, I want to take this time to let Miss E. Danielle Butler say hello to our fellow book lovers out there in podcast land.
Hello, book lovers. I'm so excited to be here and talk about my love for books with all of you lovely book lovers out there. Thank you so much, Shanita, for having me today.
Well, thank you for coming and bringing all your good, all of that in here with us.
Yes.
So, as you all know, here at We Love Books Con, we are where we were supposed to be getting together to connect online over our love for books in conferences and conventions. No, but in fun book cons on the interwebs because introverts and people who can't travel deserve to have a good time over books too. But y'all know what happened last year. That COVID, that Rona.
That Rona.
So we postponed launching our first big online con because people were a little tired of online stuff, which is absolutely understandable. So we're going to take a bite-sized, fun-filled approach on our podcast until everything says it's time to launch the con. And we're going to talk about children's authors and illustrators with this beautiful, chocolate, wonderful, adoring. What is that look you're giving me, y'all? We doing this on Zoom, so she is giving me all kind of stank eye. I don't know if I'm gonna leave this part
That
on the
is not
YouTube
even a
video,
steak.
but I don't know what.
That's my sexy eye.
Okay,
Those
so
are my bedroom
well,
eyes, guys.
sexy is how the children are created who read the children's books. So hello, but first let me find out what was your favorite book as a child.
Oh my gosh, I sort of knew that was coming. You would have thought that I would have prepared for it, right? I really love that book, I Love You Forever. I think I have like two copies for my kids because that just felt so loving and warm. And then Go Dogs Go, Dr. Seuss Go Dogs Go. I like the rhythm of that book. So those would be the two. One was for the rhythm and the fun and the excitement, and the other was for the comfort and the
The
of
rhythm,
reading.
the rhythm, the bass. Okay, we're gonna
That's for the music lovers.
yes. For those who knew hip hop when hip hop was still a baby.
Yeah.
So yes, I think those are great. I do know that Go Dog Go book.
Mhm.
I don't know the other one, so I have no more babies, but I wish I did. I love books, so it you know.
I don't even remember the premise of the book, but I know that like whatever it is, it's like this mom just kind of reassuring her kid that no matter what happens, I'm gonna love you forever. And the front of the book has like a kid sitting in the bathroom, like rolling all the toilet paper off the roll, if I recall correctly. So there's that.
So it's like Caillou before Caillou. Got it.
Before
Um,
Caillou, absolutely apropos, but it's really sweet drawings, so you don't get the Caillou feel, right? It's just really sweet, like color pencil kind of illustrations.
ooh, I love that.
Yeah. So
So
those,
that was a
yeah.
great segue into illustrators because you, Miss Butler, children's
Hmm.
author, for those
Hmm.
underrepresented and of different nationalities other than European descent.
Yeah.
I don't want to use white and black anymore because those are not racist. Those are colors in a crayon box. So I'm gonna
Hmm.
be real annoying and say stuff like of European descent because Caucasian
Not annoying. It's true.
it's also not a race. Okay, anyway.
That part. It's a
Uh,
color. It's a description. But
so
we
so
digress.
talk to me about the journey of knowing that you yourself wanted to embark on the publishing a children's book road. Like, talk to me about how that came about.
Yeah. So I think that just like you just asked me what my favorite books were as a kid, I think back. to being a kid in the 80s, and Black kids weren't in books at that time, not heavily. And then when they came out, it was American Girl, it was Addie. Her parents were like escaped slaves, right? So the narrative was that they were eating cornbread at their aunt's house, you know, and they were just one step out of freedom, which is a beautiful story. Like, it is the truth of many families of color here in the US, but life is so much more than that now. And then the second book was Faith Ringgold's Tar Beach, where the girl is living, I think, in Brooklyn, and she's flying over. She gets the superpower to fly, and she's looking at all of the black tops on the top of the roofs in the city. And I remember being like, well, I can only check these books out so many times from the library, right? And so I didn't think anything more of it. And then I became a teacher, and I was teaching third grade. And this is where like the passion of things comes in for me. I was teaching third grade, and they shared that stat about how the reading test scores of Black boys in the third grade, brown boys, kids of African-American descent, at 8 years old, were being used to predict the number of prisons that they should build in the future.
Yes.
And so that really challenged me, because it was like, well, how do you teach someone to read when they're not interested in reading because they don't see themselves, they don't see like what it looks like. And so it started there, and I was just kind of like, all right, I got to fill my classroom library with some diverse books. And then I had my own kids, and a similar situation. We had at book showers for both of my kids. So like, don't worry about,
wait, excuse me. What you not gonna do is fly by that little statement.
I mean, I was gonna circle back to it.
That's the thing that
no.
I need everybody. Hello, listening audience. It's Shanita.
Books.
Did you hear what she said? You gonna get diapers and clothes and onesies, and that's cute. But give your baby a book shower. Okay. All right. Go ahead. Continue. Go ahead.
Well, then, since we're going to talk about book showers, let me just interject this little digression, right? So book showers, what I asked for was, hey, if you want to get me diapers and clothes and all that stuff, that's great. But instead of buying me a card that I'm probably going to throw away, I would prefer it if you got me a book and you wrote a note to the baby in it. So the same way that you were going to sign the card, write the note in the book. And so each gift or whatever, either you gave me a set of books, or you gave me a book attached to the gifts, which made it just all the more. I even had a book cake. Yeah. Oh, the places you'll go. It was wonderful. So back to that. So then I had my own kids.
I want to have a whole other baby now. Go ahead. I just want a baby to have a baby book shower. That is so reckless, but
yeah, it definitely was a way to start our libraries and make sure. But a lot of the books that I got, again, didn't have what my kids were going to look like. I was gonna have chocolate babies. I was gonna have, caramel colored babies. And the books that I was getting were like mermaids and of course animals.
The animals.
Like
gotta love the animals.
The animals. Gotta love the animals, which then I was back heavily. I was a teacher. I was the leader of the data, whatever team, data-driven instruction and all this stuff. So I was always looking at the data. And the data said that there was a significant portion of children's books that were written about animals and other. More of objects, those, animals and objects were published more than books featuring children of color in them. And I was like, what you say? And that's where it started, right? That's not what I said, but since this is a podcast that you guys are probably listening to with your kids, I hope book lovers, because we're growing book lovers. And so that was it. And I wrote the book. My first children's book, which was Zoe's Bun. I'm going to show it now because I have it right here. This is where it all began for me. Zoe's Bun, because at the time, all of the books that were coming out with kids of color were focused on their hair, right? Because that's a big portion of our physical identity and how we show up and our confidence and all this stuff. And so I bought all the books. Big Hair Don't Care, Love the
I have
Afro.
that
Like,
one for my daughter.
yeah,
Yes.
I went and got them all. And she was like, thank you, but can you also put my hair in a bun? And I was like, after I've read all of these books with these glorious names to you, you want a bun? All right, cool. So she wore a bun for probably every day for like 2 years of her life.
I
Part of
remember
that
that
was
because
because,
I see you at church. So I was like, that baby always got a bun in her hair. Now I know why.
yeah, because her mom can't do hair and because she likes buns. Book lovers out there, I can't braid. That's a
Braid, girl, I can't
stereotype.
braid. Let
Yeah.
me tell you something. Let me tell you what's funny about that. I can't braid, but comma. In high school, I
Mm-hmm.
was the go-to get your daughter hair done chick. I could zigzag, heart part, had your baby with some super wonderful twists. I didn't even
Mm-mm.
know that was a thing, but I was twisting, flat twisting,
Mm-mm.
third twisting. But please don't ask me to braid because your baby gonna look a hot garbage mess. I can do like extension braids, but I can't like cornrow. Absolutely not.
Yeah. All those things that you just threw out, the parting, forget a zigzag part, a straight part, huh? It's not even. I'm I'm a book lover and an author. Okay, I
Yes,
don't
ma'am.
have to know how
No,
to
you do
part
not.
anybody's hair straight.
Okay, okay.
But yeah, so that was Zoe's bun. I I wrote the book and it was on and popping after that, as the young kids like to say. Um, that's what started it. So it was an evolution for me from, educator to parent to community member and advocate. It was an evolution for sure. Um, that has stuck with me and I'm in love with it. I
I
love
love
children's books.
yes. And now, in addition to Zoe's bun, you may not have them there to hold up, but
Mhm.
I will place the covers on the video for the YouTube listening audience as well as on the podcast website picture when I post about the episode. What are your other children's book titles?
Yeah, so the first one is Zoe's bun. The second one was Zoe gets a brother because, oh my gosh, she did get a brother and it did not go like she expected. So we talk about that, right? Because same thing, we had a book shower for my son as well. And people were buying books for him, but then they were also like, oh, he's got a sister. So, you know how people like to get a gift for the older sibling too. So they were getting her books as well. And it was like, I'm a big sister. So and so is going to be a big sister. Big Sister Goes, and all these books, all of the girls are like smiling on the front, and we're gonna be a big sister. And then when I had my son, my daughter was like, "Is it?"
No, thank you. Can we take it back?
Right. This isn't how I thought it was gonna be. So Zoe Gets a Brother was the second one, and then the third one was Zachary Goes to School because at the time Zoe was preparing for kindergarten. And so I took her experience and applied it to him because people were looking for boy books. There weren't enough boy books out there. So again, a solution, right? Instead of complaining about it, just being a part of the solution. And then the last one in the series thus far is Adventures of the Mind. It's a writing journal. And so it's full of prompts for the young imagination. So whether you are young and have that imagination or whether you want to get your imagination back to being pliable. So Zoe and I worked together to create some writing prompts, and it's lined and got a little bit of clip art in there, but space for the kids and those with young imaginations to have adventures and share those adventures. Like one of my
Fun.
favorite is the mayor uh, contracted me to design a new playground for the city. That's one of the
Ooh,
prompts. And
okay.
so that gets their mind going,
Yes,
right?
yes.
That's one of my favorite ones. The mayor hired me to design a new playground for the city and to see what the young imaginations come up with and exploring instead of just it was raining candy, right? Not that
Yes,
there's
because
anything wrong with raining candy,
we will
but
probably have you. You might one day have a mayor contract you, but it is not going to rain candy unless somebody's truck gets hit and all of the inventory spills everywhere, and that's not a blessing. That's theft. So let's not do that.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. So yeah, those are the 4 books in the series. We've been talking about expanding them to maybe include some other things, because my goal is simple. I just want children of color to see themselves reflected in everyday adventures. I believe every day is and can
Yes.
be an adventure. So whether it's the adventure of figuring out, your favorite hairstyle, or the adventure of getting a new sibling, whatever it is, wanting to highlight that. And
Right.
so
And
that's
as
what
they
we're
get
doing.
older, I mean, no pressure, but it would be nice if we could get some middle grade books because
We're
there are definitely
absolutely
not
having those
enough
conversations.
Black middle grade books. Can we talk about it?
Yeah, we can talk about it. So that is on our list. We want to. One of the ideas that actually came up this week was about friendship, and what does
Yes.
the evolution of friendship look like, right? Because we talk a lot about feel good friendship, what friendships feel good, what things should be a part, and what things
Yes.
definitely shouldn't be. How do we set boundaries in friendship from an early age so we don't have to learn how to do that later, right? Like if I learn how to be a good friend at
Right.
10, then when I'm 40, it's not rocket science.
Hope springs
So
eternal. That's a different podcast for a different topic.
different podcasts for a different day, but that's so yes, middle grades are on our radar. Responsibilities, chores around the house, getting our first jobs, starting businesses, all of those
Yes,
fun
come
things.
on. I'm
It's
so
on the
excited.
horizon.
That is
We're
awesome.
here we're here for a long time. Yeah.
Yay. Well, if you didn't know, now you know. You can get your little brown, excuse me, you can get your child of African descent, of female gender, male
Hmm.
gender, insert all the other pre dash, okay, because y'all, I'm tired. All right, but I understand how you feel and I respect your struggle. But if you have a
Yeah.
child that has
Yes.
melanin
Yes.
of African descent, you can help them enjoy their life adventures by
Hmm.
reading Zoe and Zachary's adventure.
Yeah.
And be sure to make sure that you go and check out Danielle Butler on all her socials. Go to her website, subscribe to her
Hmm.
blog, all the things.
Yeah.
Please tell the people they can find you, Miss Butler.
Yeah. So I'm on social at Evie Danny B. So that's EVYDANIB. So that's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of the spaces. Website is edaniellebutler.com. But I'm also working intentionally to grow the Adventures of Zoe and Zachary platform, because our kids need a safe space to hang out and gain knowledge and connect with other people. So on Instagram and Facebook, it's at the Adventures of Zoe and Zachary, because I want to provide resources and spaces for parents to chat and connect, and for kids to explore. um, when everything happened last year, we so yes, with the Adventures of Zoe and Zachary, when everything shut down last year, one of the things that I plugged in, because I realized a lot of other parents were kind of in the same boat, all of our kids were suddenly at home, was what do we do after all of that work is done, right? Because the teachers were trying to figure it out. It was like 48 minutes of work per day, and then the rest of the day was free. So Zoe and I got together, and we were doing digital career days on our Facebook platform.
I
So
remember
she
seeing
was
that.
taking, yeah, so she was giving interviews. She was interviewing people live about their various careers, which was amazing, right? Because she crafted all of her own questions for each
Yes.
one. She prepped it, she led them. All I did was kind of set up the technology to get her started. And it really gave her a confidence boost, but it also gave the outside world an opportunity to do and to see something different. So please, if you can, book lovers, check out the Adventures of Zoe and Zachary. We've got fun stuff happening. Good
Yes,
stuff.
and that is on Facebook, Instagram, and are Zoe and Zachary on Twitter?
They are not on Twitter
No,
because
they
that's
don't need
too
to be
much.
child
They don't
explicit.
need Twitter. Yeah, no.
I,
Too
I
much
if
to keep
if
up
I
with.
could, I'm biased. Pinterest. There are lots, girl. It's so many parents and book lovers on Pinterest.
Yes.
Pinterest
We're
is
headed that way.
Pinterest is my happy place with all the stuff. when I'm not doing my day job in social media, when I need to
Mhm.
cleanse my soul, when I
Mhm.
need to wash my eyes and remember that there is goodness in the world, I go to
There is.
Pinterest. I
Yes,
go to
I love
Pinterest
Pinterest.
because I saw not one thing that was toxic or you know what I'm saying? Like I don't even want to utter what I didn't see because I don't want any book lovers who listening to go put it there next time because I'm gonna
Yeah.
find you.
No, because we're gonna find you, book lovers, for putting out toxic things. Books are
No.
for to be windows and
No, I'm
mirrors
saying
so that
Pinterest.
we
Pinterest is a pure
I
place.
know,
Pinterest
but
must
I'm
stay
just
pure.
saying Pinterest, right? When we're sharing our books on Pinterest, is to be a window and a mirror, not for all that other stuff.
That's
So I'm
right.
coming to Pinterest. 2021 Pinterest is a big goal, a big place
It's so
for
much
us.
fun. Yeah, my daughter is getting to it, and it's kid friendly. I like to tell people, you know, it's not a lot of foolery
Yeah.
and shenanigans over on Pinterest. So, well, not the kind like you can find in other places. Nothing's
Mm,
perfect, but it was a safe haven for me, and I found so many book
yeah.
loving friends, and you know, I will be of course pinning all of the Zoe and Zachary Adventures of Zoe and Zachary on our We Love Books Con Pinterest
Well,
board.
let me get over
That's what we
there and
do. Yeah, that's
follow.
what
I'm
we
gonna figure
do.
that. You know what? Maybe we should have a follow-up conversation on one of those other platform places about that, about Pinterest as a hmm, tech place for
You
book
always
lovers.
yeah, okay.
Hmm.
We can schedule that. We can do that since we're recording this in not when it'll publish, when we go to the time after it is published in the future.
In the
We will
future. Ba-dum,
have
dum,
a
dum.
follow-up live discussion. And if you want to know where that live discussion is, fellow book lovers, just go to the We Love BooksCon Instagram or the We Love BooksCon Twitter. We are on Twitter. We're just trying to spread a little sunshine in the place that is very toxic most days. And I don't do Facebook. Instagram is the closest I'll come because it's owned by the same company. But you will find all those instructions and all that information on the We Love Books Con socials as well as on our website.
Yes.
So be on the lookout for that so we can have a conversation about how we can all connect over our love for books online on Pinterest and keep it pure.
Pinterest.
Because us, if not, I'm gonna be refugees. Ready or not, here we come. No, just wait.
You can
We
hide.
gonna find you. Do not
Mm,
make us find you.
don't
Keep
do that.
Pinterest pure.
You don't want to be found like that.
Don't be
You want
found
to
like
find
that.
us. You don't
Right.
want to
And
be
talk
found.
about books.
Yeah. Okay. None of that other stuff.
So, again, thank you so much for joining us for our special children's authors and illustrators edition episode. You will also, if you listen to the next part or the first part, I never know which direction I'm gonna do it, if it's before or after the interview, but I think I might put it after the interview for this episode. Be sure to check out all of the new books that have come out. And of course, if you're on our podcast show page, you can get links to all of the lovely books. And of course, you'll be able to get links to go hang out and check out Miss Danielle Butler and take your kids on an adventure with hers. Thank you so much
Yes.
for being a
Thank
guest
you.
on We Love Books Con podcast. And thank you so much, my fellow book lovers, for listening. And I hope to continue the conversation with you over our love for books out there in the interwebs. Talk to you soon.